They changed some shit on the lives. They
Yeah.
changed
Yeah.
everything, and I can't access my scheduled lives, and I hate it. Because
No.
when you go to start the live, normally it would do like it'll pull up your little scheduled lives that you pre-did.
Yeah.
But now they set up so that you have there's like an in Substack. You can do it from a desktop. But now I can't find any of my scheduled lives.
I love this. They had to have done an update because there's been like glitchy shit all day.
I'm like, I literally like sent the most upset message to their support. I'm like, if you're gonna roll out something like this, like you have to like test it. You can't just be like, yep, here you go. Like we can't do our backgrounds. You can't do anything because you can't. It's stupid. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is. And now we're gonna go. I'm gonna go over here on Substack so we can chat. We
find
can
the
chat
doodad here
because it's always a fun chat, right?
I
It's
love
always
it.
a fun chat. Yes. Oh my god, what a fucking week, right? What a week,
dude. What a day.
Yeah.
Like just the last. I have like 7 things written down just because I was looking at Reuters for 20 minutes before this started. Literally just 20 minutes, and I'm like, I
go for it. Go.
I spent my whole day writing about Jared Kushner. I decided I was going to finish my fucking file, my second file. I did it. And I got that posted today. I literally was like, I told everyone, I was like, okay, Firebrand report today. I'm tabling it. I'm going to finish this Kushner file. So I wrote, and I finally did it. And everybody should read it. It's great. But you know,
I'm gonna go read it. I am.
As
if I have another thing to be pissed about.
I was like
Jared Kushner wasn't even on my radar.
You know, he's such a little bitch. He's such a little bitch. It's like he's just like you know, he kind of just like goes around and like licks everyone's boots and is like, would you like this, master? Would you like to make $1 billion here, master? Yes. Like that's fucking Jared Kushner. He's just really good at being a rat. Unfortunately, he's actually very good at being a rat. And the file is about how he learned how to be a rat. So, you know, that's how that works. Did you find the chat, by the way?
I'm trying to get into the live, and every time I click on live, okay, now it took the last 2 times it took me to my dashboard.
Okay.
Oh, it just took me to my dashboard again. So we are completely flying blind. We have no idea.
Let me see, because it should show on my because I'm okay. Yeah. I see us. I found us.
See if you can get the chat open. It keeps
taking
me to. I'm in DuckDuckGo. I'm in my DuckDuckGo browser. Sometimes that just fucks up.
Let's see. Okay. Did you accept the invite in your email?
I did. I did. You sound like such a customer service rep. Did you accept?
Did you turn it on and off again?
I'm gonna need you to check your connection.
I need you to shut up, sir. Oh my god. Oh no, I mean, I was like, I felt great, you know. I finished and I was like, this is nice, you know. I'm gonna go and just look for a couple minutes because I feel like, you know, and I had already looked at Senate America's brief. So I was like, I can't have missed, you know, that much. Like that much can't have happened, you know, since they just post their brief. So, and then I sat down at my computer and I pulled up my my monitor and I'm looking at Reuters and I'm like, I don't know, like how the hell are you? How the hell are you?
How was your Thanksgiving? How's the fam? How are the kids?
How are the kids? Is anyone standing on the table today? Where's your emotional
support cat? Where's your what?
Is anyone standing on the table today?
No one today. No, she when I walked past her earlier though, she had a pint glass half full of eggnog that she had topped with marshmallows with many, and I was like, "Who let you do?"
I just helped myself,
No.
Mom. I just thought I
Yeah.
could, get away with it. Oh, no, I mean, I okay,
But like the way the world's going, I'm kind of like, drink your
drink your
eggnog, kid.
eggnog.
Who knows if we're gonna have eggnog next year?
Shit, I don't even know. Yeah, who knows I don't know if we're gonna have a fucking democracy next year. We might,
Right?
we might be out here fighting in the trenches. Who the fuck knows? And it's like, uh, this happens every time. Okay, Hexeth is committing war crimes. Yes, he needs to go to jail. Yes, holy shit, so much other stuff is happening, and it's the only fucking thing anybody is talking about right now. They just stole Tennessee's prime special election straight up. Like truth. The numbers don't even make any goddamn sense. You've got people voting that don't exist. Um,
Really?
oh yeah, oh yeah. This will
I
hold.
haven't heard any of the you were informing me of all of
This will
this.
hold did a whole article on it, and they're talking about the numbers and how at the very end it goes and you're like, what the fuck? It's the same shit they did with the presidential elections and all of these districts in Florida, where you just have people voting that don't exist. The polls, like, dude, there's no way some Republican wins, period, anywhere right now, because they're telling people to go fuck themselves because they are hungry.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't matter. We all already now we know that 2/3 of Trumpers on Twitter are fucking Russian bots because X told us. Okay,
Yes.
so they don't exist. MAGA is a myth. They really are a fucking myth. Okay, there's some people who are watching Looney Tunes on their phone 24/7 and getting educated on PragerU, sure, but like there's not that many fucking people. They think they are like some legion. They don't exist. Okay, like, yes, you might know a maggot or two. I'm sure we all do, but like,
Yeah.
there's not enough of them. Especially when you think they're fucking deployed ICE in Memphis. What, you think Tennessee's gonna
Yeah.
fucking rally around MAGA?
Oh, did you hear what they did here? Did you hear what
I
they did
saw
here
that
in
shit.
Norfolk?
I saw that shit. I restacked it. I'm like, where the fuck is, like, why is the military even still, like, what, you're gonna tolerate that shit? You're gonna tolerate
Right.
sailors getting fucking
Right.
detained?
That's what blew my mind. This chief just made a video. He made a TikTok and was like, "I'm just advising my junior sailors, if they have a passport, carry it with." Why are you what? What? Why are you doing that? Why are you advising? Like I get what you mean, but also why are you not going to your officer and say we need higher and higher and higher? Because what do
Fuck
you mean
yeah.
every Hispanic sailor driving off this base is going to get pulled by ICE? Like, why are we allowing that? What?
What the fuck is going on? Like, okay. I mean, SCOTUS just green lighted the fucking gerrymandered Texas maps. Okay, they just did it. What else do I have? The National Guards. The appeals court said, "Yep, nope, go ahead, keep them." What else did I see? Trump seems is going to open up Trump accounts. Every single child born between 2025 and 2026 will be getting
Right.
$1,000 investment account from Donald Trump. Tell me you're fucking pumping money into the stock market from the Treasury without
Right.
telling me.
And you know what? The thing is, I heard that on NPR the other day, and they were like, the thing is, for the number of children that are projected to be born or have been born, that would qualify, the dollar amount that they said would cover this would equal around 200 to 250 bucks a kid. So where's the rest of that? Like, who did the math on that?
They're just gonna make up fucking kids and they're gonna
Yeah.
put money into the stock market. I'm so fucking tired of this shit. The FCC just allowed AT&T to buy Spectrum for $1 billion. Okay, so now we're seeing telecom over here fucking consolidating, and to get that purchase, they had to cut all their DEI shit. So they said, okay, sorry, FCC, we'll cut all our DEI, and then you'll let us fucking consolidate. Not because it's a fucking massive market consolidation and it's all going to hell and the country's for sale. The CFTC, one of the trade commission, they just said we're going to be trading crypto assets on exchanges legally coming up. Dude, there's nothing that's not fucked. I can't find a single thing that's not.
Hold on,
fucked.
I have to show you this. Hold on, because I thought this was pretty funny. Because my kid was 19 years old, right? And talking about trickle down and what is trickle down.
Trickle down scamonomics.
So I wiped off part of my calendar so I could be like, hey, back in the day when we had like this robust middle class, right? The Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts paid 90% tax rate above a certain cap. And so the money flowed down and the people down here had some money. And then Reagan was like, what if we put a noose right here? And so now you have trillionaires up here, and then the rest of us get all the, and there's more of us. So you see how some people just don't get the money. It just doesn't make it.
Maybe we got to draw a picture for fucking Mike Johnson. Draw him a picture. Mike, this is how tall you are, and this is how tall AOC is. You're short. I
don't want no short man. No,
I don't know. Like, I am so disgusted. And if the people of Tennessee, they need to demand a fucking hand count of that shit, because you know what happens when they hand count that? She fucking wins by nasty margins, 100%. If we don't stop that shit in Tennessee, you better believe the midterms are cooked. This is a trial run because they're scared as fuck because they lost everything in November, and now they have to steal this shit. And they're doing it in Tennessee, and it's going, and you know why they're doing it? Because they're going down for fucking war crimes, and they are,
and because they fucking can.
They're the monkey, and they're throwing other monkey shit at the wall at this point, because they're coming with the doggy bag. They might as well just throw all the poop. And the whole Texas map thing. Oh fuck, we're gonna lose seats. SCOTUS, we need you to overturn this map because we're gonna lose the seats. Well, you know what's funny is, even if they fucking change the seats, watch these people in Texas vote for the fucking Democrat anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, you said go hungry, and what? Now you're cutting SNAP to 21 states. Because you want more people to go hungry. We're going to eat your chicken legs, Donald. We're going to chop those swollen legs off you, and we're going to feed them to kids because they're hungry. Dude, fuck. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I will never understand that a day in my life. Like my son works at a motorcycle gear shop, right? Like they sell the helmets and the gear and all that stuff. So he gets a pretty good mix of guys in there, and so he gets a hefty amount of MAGA dudes and red pill dudes that he overhears their conversations, and and he's like, how do I, like, what are the words that I can say to these people? I was like, by now those words don't exist. Like, if they are still this on board this far in, they're too far gone. They're too far gone. I don't know. It's going to be when they start knocking chicks up and they can't get Plan B or the abortion pill, and they get that child support notice, and then it's going to be like, oh fuck,
Oh, until they go,
What?
actually, men don't have to pay child support. That's fucked up. That's fucked
Yeah,
up. In America, we don't do that. That's discriminatory towards
it's
men. That
towards
you
men.
force a man to pay child support for a baby that
How
he
dare
recklessly
you?
forced some woman to carry because he can't
Yeah,
put some rubber on his dick. That,
yeah.
like, dude, it's like, and
Mhm.
there is, I see your comment, Twilight. It's not a slow moving coup. No, this is fucking Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well,
running
now
down.
it is, but I think what Twyla's referring to is
Mm,
that's a cool name too. I never heard that name until Schitt's Creek, and there's a Twyla on that show, and I love that character. But
oh,
yeah, when you read, you got to read Jesus and John Wayne if you hadn't, because I was truly unaware of how long this con was. And I had this really naive sort of impression of Billy Graham because I grew up in South Carolina, North Carolina, and that's where he's from. And so he's just seen as this sweet old man that just loves Jesus and he wants to bring everybody to Jesus. And then I'm like, and then I read this book and it's, oh my God, that dude is like evil mastermind. He's responsible for Nixon getting in office, which is bonkers
I
that
hate
a
rich
gospel
people. I
preacher.
hate them. I hate
Yeah.
them. I hate rich people. I
So
don't
that
give a fuck
when
how much
Twyla was
money. Like,
the
if you
long
have,
con, this is a long, long, long con. And you're right, there's like this echelon of people that just operate with total like you see that in the whole Epstein files. When you look through those emails, they're like joking with each other about mortgage fraud and and loan fraud, and they're just the things that they do just with impunity. They just break every conceivable law. Oh, that piece I wrote about, oh my god, so Martin Rodil is the CIA, is the fixer from Venezuela. He's from Venezuela, and so he saw this opportunity to start blackmailing his own fucking people. And he was an intern, so he says. The only evidence that exists of this is his word, but he was an intern at Payday Visa, which is the state-owned oil company, right?
mm,
So he got to know who he was able to identify who the corrupt people were in leadership there, and a lot of them were government officials. So he starts blackmailing them and essentially was like, hey, I know what you're doing, and so does the US. So if you just go talk to somebody at the CIA or DEA or FBI or whatever agency he was working with, because he's worked with all of them, our taxpayer dollars have paid this dude millions of dollars for this service that he does. So he goes and gets these corrupt Venezuelan officials and he gets them to, snitch in exchange for citizenship. So here we are talking about the law and order, but we are knowingly bringing corrupt Venezuelan officials into this country in exchange for their testimony. So we're bringing criminals in, but they're just white collar criminals. So it like doesn't count, right? So we bring in all these fucking people, and this dude is being paid millions of dollars, not only by our government, but from those people. He's extorting those people. He's being investigated in Spain right now for extortion because he told one of these executives, I'll get you to America. You pay me $2 million. So he's making untold sums of money, and he is so disgusting that his own government took his citizenship away. And guess who was ready to step up and give him citizenship? But Israel.
dude, Israel. Okay,
Like,
Israel is a fucking nightmare. They are on some expansionist
yes.
colonial bullshit. They're building a wall across Lebanon. What the fuck? What their kid do? They killed more kids. They've killed more kids than they've killed terrorists. I'll fucking bet you
Yeah, I'm
any amount
sure.
of money. They've
I'm
killed more
sure.
fucking children. Okay, we broke 70,000 people. Okay, that they've killed, and they don't give a fuck. They arm these Israel. Like, I'm
Yep.
sorry. I'm gonna, if you're the fucking, it's not even just them, dude. They give guns to Israeli citizens and they go out and they fucking kill
Yeah.
people in the West
Yeah.
Bank. They're all fucking assholes. They were all fucking doing it. Because if you're standing there and your neighbor's like, got my AR-15 or my M4,
Yeah.
American
Yeah.
made M4, I'm gonna go shoot some fucking Palestinians this weekend. It'll be great. You're like,
Yes.
just another
There's
day
a
in the
couple of
life.
people that I follow. I follow an independent journalist on TikTok, and he's been in the West Bank, right? And so he was recording when they were going through an olive grove and they were picking up some of the workers. They were supposed to be picking up some of the workers. And so he's recording and they start to slow down to pick up, and it's women and it's older women. And over the hill comes a bunch of fucking Israeli teenagers with metal poles, and they just begin beating these women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. They just start beating until they're bloody. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing?
It's a culture. It's a cultural thing. They've like created this entire, but the thing is, I've said it stops if we stop it.
Oh, and the other one I followed her because she does like makeup and fashion and stuff. She's gorgeous and everything. She lives on the West Bank. She's Palestinian. And so she goes live one night and she's in a dress shop. They had been shopping for somebody's wedding, and she holds her phone out the door, and there's just a bunch of Israeli soldiers with guns because it was the day after the hostages were released. Oh, it's a ceasefire, right? Or it's, here we are. It's a ceasefire. Yeah. We're sending all the hostages home. The hostages went back to their homes, and the Israeli soldiers went to their homes to continue the psychological torment. So because one of these hostages lived on the block that the dress shop was on, they locked down the block. They shot anybody that came outside. Like, so what's the point of releasing hostages if now you're going to torment the whole fucking family, the whole block?
Yeah. Well, the 200 people have died in the West Bank since October 10th. Over 900 people have been wounded in Gaza since the ceasefire. Over 300 people have been killed since October 10th. They killed 11 kids in Lebanon the other week. There is so many dead fucking people. Of the 300 or so that were killed since October 10th, over 70 of them were children. I don't know what the fuck to even. I don't understand. And I also don't understand why we can't spare fucking 2 minutes of airtime on any fucking news outlet to talk about it.
Yeah. No.
What the fuck? Like, people come for my ass. They're like, yo, like, why are you so upset? Like, why are you calling out Ben Mycelis? Why are you calling out Aaron Parnas? Dead kids, yo! Dead kids! That's fucking news! That's fucking news!
Right.
Open your fucking mouth and talk about it.
I don't get why. I don't get why. I'm so fucking frustrated right now because my local NPR, my local public radio station, so our local paper got bought out a while back, like, oh my God, over 10 years ago. They got bought out by Sinclair at first, and then somebody else bought it. So it's just an AP wire rag at this point. We don't get local news, really.
Right.
There'll be an article in our fucking local paper about something that happened in Oklahoma, but they won't cover what happened at the city council meeting last night. It's shit. So the local public radio station had a big fundraising drive, and they opened a local newsroom that's supposed to be investigative reporting. But why are they not reporting on the flock camera situation, a national level case that's happening right here, and there are crickets on it? Yeah. Like, what? Why are you not? Why did they not report on the Navy sailor who was, detained by ICE for 90 minutes while he's in fucking uniform, just drove off base? Like, why is the local investigative reporting not reporting on that, but they did a fluff piece today on some like Christmas tree lighting. I don't care. I don't care who lit their Christmas tree today. I just don't fucking care.
I don't
Like
even
we
have
have
a
real
Christmas
shit
tree.
going
I don't even
on.
got my Christmas tree up, you know? My whole thing is
I'm so
holidays have been fucking ruined for me. You know why? Because I'm a 25-year-old
yeah,
old. I've grown up in consumer America, and we don't get fucking holidays. We work on Christmas. We work on
yeah,
Thanksgiving. We work on Veterans Day. We don't get holidays. That's not a fucking thing. Like you talk to someone who's probably your son, and he's like, it's like, oh, it's a holiday. I'm like, I haven't, I didn't get a holiday since I started working when I was 15. I've been scheduled on every single holiday my entire life. Throughout my entire life, I've been at minimum scheduled. The amount of Christmases
yeah,
and Thanksgivings that I'm like, I can't go. I can't go to this place because I'm working. They
yeah,
won't give me it off. Years. And some people are dead now. They're fucking dead. They died. And there
yeah,
was 4 Thanksgivings where I could have gone, but instead I had to work at some shitty dead end job that got me fucking nothing out of my life, where I was underpaid,
yeah,
and they're dead. You know what?
yeah.
That's fucking how it is for everybody. That's just how it is.
It
That's
is.
America.
I remember when everything went to like I remember when 24-hour Walmarts became a thing, and then those Walmarts gradually started staying open into the holiday, because it used to be, Thanksgiving, Walmart was closed. It was closed. Christmas, it was closed. And then over the years, it just started, oh, well, we'll open for Black Friday on Thanksgiving night at like 10 o'clock. And then it was like 8 o'clock. And then it was like noon. And then it was like, fuck it, we're open on Thanksgiving. Like there nothing is sacred anymore. Like spending time with your family is not sacred anymore. It's not something that any corporate entity at all considers. And then they want to know why we all hate them and really don't cry when a CEO of a massive corporation
Oh yeah.
unfortunately meets their
Oh
demise.
yeah. Because
Like,
that's
I
horrific.
don't
Their poor
care.
family who is good for the
Oh
rest of
no.
their life, no matter what.
They can wipe their tears
Yeah.
with bundles of
Yeah,
money.
exactly. But God forbid, some poor father is hung or commits suicide as the breadwinner in the family, and then their kids are left with a single parent who is also working, because let's be realistic, it's not like you can have a single income home, trying to provide for kids. And do we cry about them? Do they give a fuck? No. And it's like, and I see the comment, Twyla, that's like a lot of young people had to do. Like, I'm sure that's the case, but I was told when I was that in America you got the holidays to spend with your family. If that's what I was
Yeah.
told, so I thought that these companies,
How old is Twyla?
I have no idea.
And it may be like where we came from too. I came from the South. I came from South Carolina, and shit just shut down on holidays. Like if you didn't have the cream of mushroom for your casserole, you just didn't fucking have it, because
Right?
everywhere was closed. Like everywhere. So yeah.
Yeah.
And that if you were paid double time if you worked on a holiday. That's the thing, is that if you're going to work on a holiday, at least make it worth it. But my son had to work. He didn't have to work Thanksgiving this year. He did last year. But this year he had to go in early on Black Friday and work like a whole fucking 12 hours or whatever on Black Friday. And I don't think he got paid any special overtime or anything like that for holiday pay.
No, there's like 2, because of course the laws changed, so you only have to be paid double time for Christmas and Thanksgiving. That's it.
Oh,
And so yeah, I mean, I think I've worked. I think I've worked just about every single holiday. Like I just, it sucks, but it's like in I just got to a point. I'm like, sure, I guess I'll, if I'm scheduled and I don't show up, they'll, threaten to fire me or put me on some stupid, program that, it is, this is just kind of, as I'm looking around and I'm looking at the job reports, and the unemployment, and they're saying, oh, joblessness claims are at an all-time low. You know why? Because everyone's lost their job.
Did
They've
the job
already made
report
the
come
claim.
out?
They released the claim, the report on the number of joblessness claims, basically,
Oh.
and they said it's down dramatically, but also it's unadjusted, and it's like there's shit there. You can't believe a damn thing they're saying. I mean, it's none of it, not like, it contradict the data itself is contradictory with independent stuff.
Well, I'm sure we're also reaching a threshold. So you've had all the federal layoffs and then all the, sort of domino effect layoffs after. So you have a lot of federal employees laid off. And if you have them all laid off, like in one building, then anybody that works in maintenance or janitorial or cafeteria services in that building, they're also laid off. Like there's a ripple effect, especially like in DC and here in Norfolk, where there's big hubs of federal buildings and federal employees. There's all the residual layoffs. And so what you see, and they did this during COVID too, that I thought was interesting, that nobody would talk about this, but like you only get unemployment, you're on unemployment for like 60 days or 90 days or whatever. There's a time limit to how long. So once you drop off of that, you're no longer counted in the unemployed report, but that also doesn't mean you got a job. You're still unemployed. So they're only looking at the number of people who are on an active unemployment claim.
Correct.
But they don't count people once they drop off that time period. And so if we don't have the jobs report and we don't know how many people hired and how many new jobs were created in that time, we can't balance that out. So we have no idea how many people who were fired from these federal jobs have now dropped off. They've expended their unemployment. That doesn't mean they have a job. So there's this whole ghost crowd of people that are unemployed and not being counted.
Yeah. My understanding, based on what I can discern, is that what's likely is we've hit net zero. There's no one left to fire. They're not going to fire anyone else. But there's also zero jobs.
Right.
So like it's like where you were seeing job growth, right? Because Biden's economy was a Green New Deal, and there's a shitload of jobs because of transition to clean energy and whatnot, and all of these initiatives. And so you saw the growth, and then you look at the trend line, and it just gets flat and it gets flat. And so now it's at the point where it's probably just kind of like, a zombie job market, right? It's just going to kind of keep ambling on. But there will not be, anything else. And, it's like, so I don't understand. I was talking to, Marlon Weems this morning, and it's like, I don't understand. And he was kind of saying the same things. Like, I don't understand what they're doing. Like, what is the end goal? And even if their end goal is to, get everything over to crypto or whatever, like, I mean, I just don't think, like, what is, not to mention, my insanity of me reading and actually understanding what the fuck's going on with the planet this week, and having to talk about that and understanding.
Bro, I was literally sitting in my driveway, like I pulled in, and you're going on about zombie ice, and I'm just like sitting in my driveway, like, well, here we are.
Yeah, fuck. God damn it. I'm like, God damn it. Like, you fucking move them all to Miami.
Then I go in the house and I'm like telling my husband about it. I'm like, there's a sheet from the soot of the Industrial Revolution. There's a sheet of ice. And when that melts, we're all fucked, man.
Yeah. It's like, dude, what the fuck? I'm so mad. And then it's like, I was saying the other day during my report, I'm like, oh, nothing bad is happening. No, you know why they don't report on foreign natural disasters anymore? Because the only explanation is global collapse. I'm not using
Yeah.
global warming anymore. I'm calling it climate, not climate change, climate collapse, because that's what it fucking is. We're not
Yeah.
seeing change. We're seeing a collapse, and it's their fucking fault. And the scientists, maybe they should have tried harder. Maybe they should, but they also aren't big oil. They don't have billions of dollars to like throw at that shit.
But
Just
so many different entities along the way have just absolutely snoozed it out because like my city, we are literally the second lowest city. We have tremendous tidal flooding every single high tide. Okay. If there's a gentle rain shower during high tide, half the city's underwater. I'm not joking. Like you have to alter your route to get around roads that are a foot underwater. So of course, we've done next to nothing to mitigate this at all. So we had applied for this massive, like $800 billion federal grant that was going to get us floodgates around downtown and levees a little further out to mitigate. So Trump was like, "Yeah, you don't get that," and my city's like, "Well, that was our plan, guys. That was our shot."
Yep, that's what we got,
So
and we're done. Yeah, Twyla, the insurance
get a snorkel
companies.
tube on your car if you
Yep,
want to stay here.
yep. No,
'Cause
the insurance companies, they know, which is why they're pulling out of
yep,
everywhere. But at the
yep,
same time, it's like it's kind of funny because I'm like, okay, so what? You guys have what? $750 billion locked up in Miami real estate. Okay. You refuse to let the property value go down, even though in probably 40 years,
it'll be
that is
underwater.
going to be underwater. Um, okay. Uh, so what? New York, Wall Street, what Manhattan, in 50,
Underwater.
60 years
Mhm.
underwater. Okay. What's the fucking plan, boys? Like, what do you think is gonna
Yeah.
happen? Like, who's gonna feed your ass?
So when
Who's
I
gonna
was an
feed your
undergrad at
billionaire?
ODU, my
Yeah.
oceanography professor, I walk in the first day and he's like a Einstein looking dude. He's got white hair standing straight on end. He's very old and he's very passionate about telling us how fucked we are. And
Mhm.
he's like, and he's like, you guys, we're going to be underwater. The city is, and this was in 2009, the year I took his class. So he was like, I sold my house. He had a house around the corner. He told us what street it was on, and he's like, I sold my house because that street's going to be underwater in like 20 years. This was 2009, remember? So he
I
would
believe
take us
him.
out. He advised the ocean, the there's some government center here. I don't remember the National Center for Oceanography Studies or something is located here in Norfolk. And he went and advised them as a subject matter expert with a fucking PhD in this shit. And he said, you got the city of Norfolk has to do something. It's very urgent. This was in 2009. He was like, you have to do something. You have to do something. And so his street, the street that his house is on, every single time it rains, it's now underwater. That street is underwater. I have a friend that lives on that street now, and they have to park around the corner if there's going to be any rain whatsoever, or their car will flood to the point of being totaled. Like they have to park around the corner and walk to their house if there's any rain whatsoever on that street, which is exactly what he said was going to happen. And he told us all sitting in that classroom, by the time you guys have grandkids, if this city does not take serious mitigation efforts really soon, if the city is still being used, it will be like Venice. The streets will be canals. That's the only way that I see moving forward. People living in this city and actually traveling the city will have to be through waterways. And sure enough, now we're at the point where it rains. We have a flood, a foot of water
Yeah.
halfway
Well,
across the city.
it's crazy he said 2029 because I'm sitting here. And one of the things I talked about during my report yesterday, I listed, and it took me like 2 minutes to go through all of the different disasters that were flooding related and how many people they killed this year. Okay. It was long, and I guarantee you it wasn't even all of them. Okay. But what I think, I'm not a climatologist, I'm not a meteorologist, but I have eyeballs. I got eyeballs, yo.
Yeah.
And the fact that he says 2029, I think this year is like a bellwether. I think we are experiencing right now a tipping point. I think what we're seeing right now is a tipping point. The polar vortex is all fucked up. You know how it's super cold, right? The snow is
Yeah.
nuts. You know why? Because the polar vortex, which is usually contained up there doing its thing, escaped because the shit is so fucked up. The atmosphere and everything is so weak that it's out there, flying around. And
Yeah.
so, and so you're looking at Asia, specifically Africa, and Indonesia, Sri Lanka, all these places, right? They're getting flooded to hell. The craziest statistic. I said this in my video, but I said every degree of warming, 7% more water can be held in the atmosphere. How many degrees have warmed? I've heard it my whole life, literally. Oh, we went up another degree this year. We went up
Yeah.
another degree this year. Okay, so if I've
Yeah.
heard that pretty much every year of my life, and then I multiply that by 7, so what? We're at like, I don't know, like 60% more water in the atmosphere. Yeah, no wonder we're flooding.
Yeah.
Like even in California when it rains, I'm like, God damn. Like, because this shit, it's just heavy. Like, and we're here getting ready to kill each other all over the
Right.
world. That's what people are doing. That's what countries are
Yeah.
doing. They're like, we're getting ready to fucking go to war. It's gonna be sick. We need to do all of this polluting, and get all these minerals and shit out of the ground, and then it's gonna be toxic as fuck when it floods.
Yeah.
I was looking, what is it, Turkey Point, in Florida. It's like a nuclear power plant, and it's cooled by like literally like canals, and like those canals go underwater. That shit explodes. You have
Yeah.
a nuclear meltdown. You know how many nuclear power plants are chilling by the ocean in America?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Like there is no, they are dicking around trying to consolidate power over a country that will not exist in
Yeah.
20 years. That might not exist in 2029 if your crazy, really actually on point, smart professor was right.
Right.
What are they fighting over? What do they want? Like, are they really that like detached from reality? And it's like everyone,
They
like
don't give
I
a
feel,
shit. They want their profit today. Today. I want my money today.
yeah,
That's it. And the crazy thing is there's so many people. This like boggles my mind because I think about the fact that I have a 6-year-old and I don't know what the fuck I doomed her to, not to mention my older kids, but I mean, she's only 6, like who knows what she's going to live through, right? And so I think about how many people in this administration have children and they clearly must not give a single fuck about their own children. They're not trying to preserve democracy for their kids. They're not trying to preserve this country for their kids. They're not trying to preserve the climate for their kids. They think if they just get wealthy enough, they can maybe insulate their kids from the
I think that's what it
ramifications of
is.
their own
I think that's
choices.
what it is. I think if they think that if they're part of the haves, that the have-nots are not going to, the have-nots are going to be fucked, but the haves, we're going to figure that out. Well, I got to tell you, historically, the haves don't have anything without the have-nots. That's not
Right.
how it works. And if
That's
you
not,
think when people don't have anywhere to live, they're not going to storm your fancy apartment building and kick
right.
your ass out and like squat in, like, guess what? Like, what's crazy to me as I think about this, and you know what? Maybe I sound like a broken record about this, but now it's all I can think about because I'm like, your daughter, you've got, daughter 6, your son is, 19 and 20 and, whatever. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna have to deal with this shit. I gotta deal with this. I gotta figure
Yeah.
this out. Like, this is not like my life in 15 years will not be what it is now. In fact,
Right.
I'm having to reckon with the fact that I don't know, like, what even reality looks like. Where am I? Like I talked to my, my fiance. I'm like, yo, by 2035, we got to be the fuck out of here. We got to have some land somewhere that's not going to be underwater. We got to be able to make our own fucking food. We got to have our own power set up because
Central Canada.
Yes, actually, Canadians, you guys are the best set to handle all of this. So if you're in Canada, congratulations, you don't have to move. Now, if you're in the southeastern United States, you're fucked. You're entirely fucked. Every single state that voted for them is fucked. Like, undoubtedly screwed. There is literally, I saw today, Tornado Alley is moving. It's moving. It's moving east. It's straight up moving east.
Is that why there's so many tornadoes in Appalachia last year?
Yes.
Oh, that's fun. So now Appalachia gets hurricanes, floods, and tornadoes in the mountains.
That's what I'm saying.
That's insanity. None of those little towns in the mountains have a hospital for like 2 hours to begin with. Not even when the roads are torn up and trees are down, but like on a good day, it takes you 2 hours to get to the hospital.
But what are we worried about? I don't know.
And then all this fucking advice that they told us all through our life. So my husband and I bought land in the town of Appalachia, Virginia, because I was like, okay, it'll be in the mountains. It's higher elevation. If things go sideways, it'll be good bug out land, right? Like we can throw an RV on it until we build. Great. We pull the trigger. We buy this land. Then there's a hurricane and they call me and they're like, you don't have land anymore. It's the river. The river moved 200 feet onto, and I don't have land. I have like a part of the river.
I think it's the Mississippi River. It's gonna move. It's gonna move. So it's like New Orleans is gonna lose all their river access. A bunch of places.
Wow.
So it's gonna move. Like they don't understand how bad they fucked shit up. Like they don't understand. Like, and it's crazy to me. They're like, dude, we're building all these data centers in the South. It's gonna be sick because it's cheap. And there's all kinds of labor down there. We're going to build up our data centers. We got all the fucking infrastructure down there. Bro, it's going to be underwater, my dude. That's how I know they're fucking dumb. That's how I know they're dumb, because they're out here thinking they're cooking like, it's all cheap. We're good. We got money. We're going to build the data centers down here. It's going to be sick. Dude, you're not going to have, by the time you get your fucking chips, which Taiwan can't even make fast enough, and you better believe Xi Jinping's going to be like, nah, I need them for DeepSeek. And he's going to invade Taiwan, and he's going to take the chips, okay? Which is why there's sudden, what did they just stop? They just stopped counter surveillance or sanctions on Chinese intelligence. Did you see that? So I'm like, oh, what? You like?
I almost wonder if we're just like inviting attack at this point.
I think they might realize, they might be thinking, well, maybe if we're nice to Xi Jinping and we just hand him Taiwan, he'll still give us chips. Mr. Xi, will you give us the minerals? Like, no, fuck you. He's going to be like, nah, you an idiot. I can't believe you gave me this shit. I'm not going to share with you. Like, I'm low key. I say this to people, and I am unironically voting for Xi Jinping because he's the only person stopping these people. He's the only one. We clearly are not stopping these people.
Yeah.
You know who is? Xi Jinping. He says, no minerals for you. No, no, no. Like, that's like, you know what? Like, oh, no Taiwan for you. No, no, no. Right? Like, he's the only, because if they had what they want, we would be fucked,
Who met with Trump and gave him a gift, but the gift was like low-key insulting, but it was like a cultural thing, so he didn't understand. Who was? I feel
South
like
Korea.
It was China. Oh, was it South Korea? Mm-hmm. What was? I'm trying to remember.
So there's a crown, and like the person who wore that crown historically, like their king, he was like an idiot. And yes. So they gave him this crown, and he was walking around with the crown on, and it was just straight up dogging. dogging on him. But you know why South Korea doesn't like him? So turns out, if you read the Kushner file, you're going to understand why. Because after I finished, I'm like, I'm going to check on this one thing that happened in the Kushner file back in 2018. Just follow up on it. And I'm like, oh shit, they dug that back up and they're using it again. Well, it happens to involve screwing South Korea out of a contract that they had so they can give it to somebody that is, happens to be a friend of Kushner from way back in the day. So, like they're actively, screwing over South Korea to give money to the petro states, in the Gulf, because it's like, apparently they're racist as fuck, but if you're a crown prince or, have a shitload of money, suddenly you don't see color. Except I know Stephen Miller was like in the corner fighting fucking cardboard when MBS was there. Fucking crazy.
But I remember in the first Trump administration, people got really upset with how visible Jared Kushner and Ivanka were, and like, they're making money right under our nose. It's so obvious. And now I'm like, can he come back and do it in public? Because the shit he's doing when we don't see him is way, way, way worse. So like, they can come back to the White House and just make like a few million instead of making these multi-billion-dollar shady deals where we don't see it.
Well, the
but
thing
it's
is
still happening.
He's just gotten really good at what he does. That's the difference, is when you saw it happening under his nose, because he was not good at what he was doing. He is now very, very good at what he does. He is a fixer. He's a bagman. And he's the best at it. Because he's had a lot of practice. And so you do something again and again and again and again. It doesn't matter what you do. You get very good at it. That is what Jared Kushner has become. He's been doing this for over 10 years. He is an expert in his profession. So, but the thing is, he could go to jail. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I know that man because I have read so much about that man. He is pathetic. He is a people pleaser. He's a loser. He probably sucks his thumb at night. And that is true. That has he just like, his dad called himself the Jewish Kennedy. And he was like, his dad definitely was just like super egotistical narcissist, and he groomed the shit out of Jared. So Jared's like definitely just like trying to like please everybody, right? Like I'm sure Ivanka steps on him.
I'm sure.
So I think that with all of these things, and we like, hold on, I got to give you a minute to go, because holy shit, talk about the war crimes and let's talk about that for a second, because I've been going off about
I've been knee deep in this shit. So David Schuster and I are working on a piece together to address, because it's just really murky international law and precedent that's kind of all over the place. But like it pisses me off how like I wrote about the Venezuelan guy and Gary. Oh, Gary Berntsen is the worst, because like I said, like fucking Martin Rodil is a Venezuelan who sold out his own people and is now an Israeli citizen. Like, I don't expect any good things from him, right? But a guy who was 4 years in the Air Force, 2 years in the Marines, and 20 years in the CIA, I kind of, call me naive, but I kind of expect some sort of loyalty to his nation. And the fact that he's the one driving this fucking boat and like pushing us to invade Venezuela based on, trust me, bro, evidence of narco terrorism, that he's just making, like, the dude's a mad conspiracy theorist at this point. And part of me thinks that the work he did, because he was involved in really gnarly shit in Afghanistan. And so I think he's cracked a little bit. And I think what happened to him was he started observing patterns everywhere he looked that were the patterns that he saw in Afghanistan. And it doesn't mean that those patterns exist everywhere, my dude. Like when because he went to the CIA with some of his shit several years ago, and they took him at good faith and did like full investigations, and it all came up like, hey man, there's nothing there. So I just think he needs like a therapist and retirement and to like fucking chill, because he is rabidly chasing what is now proven to be conspiracy theories, and our stupid senile president is believing every word out of his mouth like it's gold. Like, oh my god, oh yeah, they stole the election and now they're gonna kill us all with cocaine. Oh my god, like, bro,
There's
everybody
no
fucking
fentanyl in
chill for a minute.
Venezuela, yo.
Well, yeah, let's invade Venezuela based on the testimony of two dudes. That's bonkers. That's totally bonkers.
Mr.
And now
President,
we're just and
trust me,
now we're
bro.
bombing this shit. And I'm like, what? Where? So if you're blowing up boats in the water that are filled with cocaine, allegedly, isn't that entering the international waterways? Are we blasting kilos of cocaine
Some
into?
fucking
So then we're gonna have
fish.
like cocaine shark. Can you imagine
Cocaine
Kosh
sharks!
Patel? Can you imagine Kosh Patel announcing we're fighting cocaine shark in the Caribbean?
He's like, we're finding
What?
cocaine sharks in the Caribbean. He can't even do, his eyes like, and like, I get, like, that's the other thing is like, dude, I get Kash Patel's a bitch, right? I get he wouldn't get off the jet without his little jacket
Without the
and his teddy
jacket.
bear. Like, I get it, you know? But at the same time, like, can we talk about how they just bought the Pentagon? Can we talk about that? Can we talk about how the Secretary of the Army is JD Vance's friend from Yale? And
Yeah.
he's saying whatever Peter Thiel's mouthpiece wants him to say. Can we talk about
JD
that?
Vance has been so quiet lately, and
Dude,
Marco
I
Rubio
know.
so quiet. Like, what are y'all doing? Hey guys.
He's
Except
getting
Marco
ready.
Rubio. Like the one time I saw him talk recently was he's just prattling on, and the president is totally asleep next to him.
Dude, that I was like,
Checked out.
I made a note and I was like, I promise that I will not fall asleep while the Secretary of State is talking to me during a cabinet meeting. And I'm like, that is now a valid campaign promise. Someone can campaign on that. They say, I will not, as president, I will not fall asleep during my cabinet meetings. Wow, I can't believe it. Someone who's willing not to fall asleep.
But the thing is, like, Marco Rubio's parents are from Cuba. Part of Gary Bernstein's shtick is he's convinced that Cuba is working with Iran, Russia, and China and using Venezuela as like a tool, right? And so all of these other countries are in cahoots. And I'm like, where's Marco Rubio? His parents are from Cuba. Like, shouldn't he be saying something about this? Like, I don't think Marco Rubio's invited to Thanksgiving, by the way. Do you think his Cuban immigrant parents are cool with everything he's doing?
I was actually watching Arturo and Marlon. They were live before this. And Arturo was saying that he knows, his dad knows Rubio's family. And that they're like dead inside, like Marco. Like, you know, like I think it's like, I genuinely think, like, because you can look at Marco Rubio before he took this job.
Oh,
and
yeah.
after, he didn't know what he was signing up for. He was the legitimate part. Like, they needed somebody semi-legitimate to do this. Like, and if you go back, actually, and again, you'll see this in the file I just wrote, how Rex Tillerson was handled and treated, where they just don't consult people in the government. Like, they don't talk to them. They just do it. And then the people in the government are like, what the fuck? Like, you did what?
They're scrambling to keep up.
Right. That's where I think Marco like thought that something like maybe he'd be able to like guide the country through Trump. Like, maybe he's like, maybe I can do it.
Right.
Or, you know, maybe I'll take the job because, you know, I can maybe. And now he just looks dead inside.
He looks broken. That is a broken man.
Yeah, but he looks broken. He just looks like he has no soul. Like he's just
sitting on the couch in the White House, like,
yeah. He's like, what have I done? What have I done? Because I do think to a degree he did care about America. I think he did care about America. He might have been a politician and a scumbag, but he did care about America's image, and he was somewhat proud, I think, of being an American. And the other people in that room, they don't give a fuck. They just care
don't
about
give a fuck.
money and
You
power.
watch the way that Pete Hegseth is like, I have yet to meet a veteran that likes Pete Hegseth. Like, just on a fundamental level, he's that dude in your unit that nobody liked. He was the dude that when like the guy who was actually in charge was like out sick, he would step up and tell everybody what it's. That's Pete Hegseth. And it's like they didn't even give him control of his own platoon when he was active duty for a reason. So the fact that they wouldn't even give him full control of a platoon and now he's running the whole goddamn show is so
I don't
mind
think he's
fucking
running it.
numbing.
I don't think he's running it. I think Stephen Miller's running it in terms of policy. And I think that
but I mean, he's running around as this figurehead, bossing people
absolutely.
around and
Yeah,
calling admirals fat and shit.
Yes,
like,
yes. That was so annoying.
with your makeup room.
Dude, I need $500,000 worth of paint ASAP. Gotta paint my house. Okay. No. You want to drink it? We'll give it to you if you want to drink it. And it's like, I don't know. I'm like, when's it going to stop? When's it going to stop? Like, people keep telling me, oh, this is going to happen or this is a win. Okay, well, you know what? We won in November and that's great. But what did I fucking say? What did you fucking say? What did everyone say who knows what's going on? Okay, well, they're going to act because now they know how bad it is for them. And they go and they steal Tennessee. Okay, so if Midas Touch and Aaron Parnas do not report on the fact that the Tennessee election was tampered with, we're fucked. Right?
Look at that. How did you do that? That's
my
so cool.
my camera he does a cool zoom feature. But I was actually on accident. To be fair, that was entirely on accident. I was just pointing and it did
what is the round thing on the wall behind you?
It's a shield. Oh, sorry.
So when you're right in front of it, you look like the Renaissance Jesus with like the halo. So it's just like I'm ranting with Jesus, and I feel like Jesus would absolutely be on the same page as us.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. 100%. I think Jesus would be on the Rant Act. Absolutely. He would be
100%. He'd be like, listen.
Yeah, no, I
said what?
Yeah, exactly. What? These guys didn't read the Bible.
Fuck if you're gay. When did I say anything about gay? Did I say? Did I?
Dude, I was bisexual. What the fuck?
I don't give a fuck.
No,
you know what you have to read? Because you need some light reading material in your life, so you don't get high blood pressure at 27.
Oh,
so you need to read Lamb by Christopher Moore.
Lamb.
It's hysterical. It's hysterical. It's the story. Lamb. Lamb.
Okay.
It's the fictional best friend of Jesus, whose name is Biff.
Okay.
He's the 13th disciple that doesn't make the cut. Yes. At one point in the book, if I'm recalling, it's been many, many years since I read it, but it's hilarious. And but at one point, like Biff goes in to a brothel to like describe to Jesus how it feels because Jesus himself can't go because he's so fucking holy, right? Yeah. So Biff is like, well, I'll take one for the team.
I guess I'll do it.
I'll tell you all about it.
Oh, it's funny. No, yeah. I mean, it's like, I guess I just you know, and it's one of those things where, you know, maybe they, and I have to ask myself, I'm like, okay, so if you don't report on the shit that's like really important, right? Like if
Yes.
you, but you report on the things that get you money, okay? The things that are profitable, like, I don't know, dissing the president or following the headlines that are very popular and are grabbing people's attention in mainstream media, but just claim that you're the one reporting them independently and you make a lot of money. But you stick to those things because if you deviate, you become controversial, but you can still be on the good side of things while still avoiding the things that, I don't know, may affect your credibility. Or like, I don't know, if you have lots of money or on a massive platform and you target potentially something very, what's the word, divisive or important, and you're afraid of getting striked out on YouTube because it would
Yeah.
cost you money and all of the time and effort, so you just don't touch it. Is that really what's up? You know, like, because like we need, like, you know, I would, if when Jim Acosta goes live, when I go live, okay, he gets like 4,800 people. I'm not saying don't watch Jim Acosta, okay? I'm not. What I am saying is Jim Acosta is not telling you what me and Melissa are going to tell you. He is not going to inform you in a way that me and Melissa are going to inform you. He just is not, because he doesn't do that. That's not what he does. He was a mouthpiece. And sure, he might have done some journalism. I'm not saying, oh, don't like Jen Acosta. I'm not saying you can't, you know, enjoy watching a Midas Touch video. What I'm telling you is that is not news. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell you.
Right.
That's not news.
I
News.
said earlier today that we're with somebody else. I said we're in a new paradigm of media, like what it is to be a journalist. I think is a definition that's in flux because most people would agree that mainstream media right now is playing it extraordinarily safe and not telling the full truth. And the people who are telling the full truth, people who are digging and investigating the Ellie Lillards and Shane Uricks, and you know, those of us here on Substack, predominantly on
And the Melissa
Substack,
Corrigans
are digging for the truth. Like when I write an article and it's got 13 citations at the bottom, how are you going to write me off as a fringe commentary? Like, what is that if not journalism? And I went to school for journalism. So I'm trained, I'm educated, I'm providing my citations and sources. I will admit that the manner in which I deliver that is certainly not unbiased. I definitely tend to add my personal color into it, but you won't say that anything I tell you is a lie or made up or based off of some fucking nut job, because all my citations are at the bottom of the article. You can click on them yourself. You can go check out the facts. So, what is it if you're going to deny us the definition of journalist, but you're going to give these pansies in mainstream media the title of journalist when they're not uncovering and sharing new information? They're just essentially feeding you the party line. Then what the fuck is the definition of journalism anymore? Like, what is it? And then, like, in the situation that I talked about in the march in DC, where there was this white kid, that this obvious Charlie Kirk wannabe, and he was trying to instigate people, and he was trying to get something violent started, right? He was trying to piss people off to the point where they were going to fucking punch him. That's what he was doing, and sticking his little mic in their face. And
I hate those guys.
you know,
I hate those
and
guys.
so after he was getting ignored by so many people, I noticed he began targeting Black men,
right,
to try to instigate. So at one point there was a black guy that was a veteran that I'd been marching with, and this kid comes up and starts fucking instigating, and this guy's getting hot, and he was probably going to swing on him. So at that moment I was like filming, and I just stepped between them and put my camera in the guy's face, like really obnoxiously. But like, the funny thing is, middle-aged white women are so invisible. They kept arguing over my head. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't there, really. But the one thing they didn't do was swing. No,
Right.
nobody was going to swing if I was standing there. So that's my thing is like, okay, so if I worked for the AP or fucking Routers or Politico and I was wearing that press badge, I couldn't have stepped it. I would have to film a black veteran punching a white kid at this march, and that would be the headline, that would be the news. Why does that have to be the news? Why do
Well,
we just have to stand there and record some fucking bullshit when simply stepping in between and saying, hey, that's not going to be the narrative today. We're not going to let this one kid dictate the narrative for this whole fucking day. So, the whole concept of what it means to be a journalist and what it means to be a citizen journalist, I think is really fascinating how we're exploring the definition, the true definition, because everybody calling themselves journalists and running around with their fucking Politico bat because they were there at the march and they all had their cameras up. They were ready. They were ready to capture that fucking headline and run with black veteran punches white kid at the rally. And I'm like, what are you fucking doing? What are you can see that this is a situation that could be dissipated. Why are you here? And what's your objective with being here when
yeah.
you know this march is about saving our democracy, right?
Well, what do
And you're
people
going to watch it get blown up.
what do people really think is going to happen if they just do nothing? You know, like what that's my question is like, what do
Yeah.
people really think is going to happen if you just watch? Okay. Like I have two choices. Okay. Like I, I can do this because it's not because I don't want to go out and do things, but I'm better and more useful here than I
Yeah.
am doing other things because I am good at what I do. So I should keep doing this. I would love to be out, picketing all the time and doing that, but I can't do both. So I either
And see the frustrating thing is these so-called journalists that are out here playing it safe and not really reporting the truth and putting sugar coating on everything have six-figure salaries and expense accounts. And we're like, can you just I just need one more paid subscriber and I can pay my power bill, please.
dude, I
Like,
literally we just paid our bills, okay? I'm
yeah,
like, shit, okay, I guess we're dipping into my savings. I got 4 months left. Okay, hopefully I come up, hopefully we can grow to the point where I can continue to do this,
right.
but Aaron Parnas, he's in the Forbes 30/30 and he still needs your Venmo. Still needs your
Yeah.
Venmo. Who is this? Michael Burry? The guy sold his
Oh,
hedge
40
fund.
bucks a month?
Dude, he sold his fucking hedge fund and then he started a Substack and people are throwing money at him. What is
30
going on?
$39 a month. I was like, you've got to be out of your fucking mind. And people paid it. People paid it.
He's number one bestsellers. He's been there the whole time since he started. I read on Reuters. I
Unreal.
read a Reuters article that said Michael Burry started a Substack, sold his hedge fund, started a Substack, and now he's given the scoop. And I said, no fucking way. And I went and I looked on Substack, and
Given the
there he
scoop.
was, top of the bestsellers list. I'm like, guys, you could pay 7 Substackers a monthly subscription for that. Okay? That what do you think Michael Burry, who's worth $300 million, is you think he gives a shit about
Yeah.
you? You think he
You think he's
cares?
really going to give you the same tips that he's using? Why would he do that?
He gets the tax breaks. You fools. He's
Yeah.
getting the tax breaks. He is one of the 11,000 centimillionaires who is lording over you.
Yeah.
Ben Meiselas is worth $10 million, guys.
Oh my God.
He's worth $10 million. But he can't afford to, but you charge $10 a month for Midas Plus? Like, oh my God. What, like, and I'm the asshole. I'm the asshole for
Yeah.
saying,
For calling him out.
for
How
calling him
dare
out.
you? How
How
dare you
dare you,
say anything
Shane?
bad about
You
sweet little
asshole.
Aaron Parnas? Why would you do that?
Why would you attack Aaron? He's my hero. You know what? Great. I don't care. I'm not
Aaron
here.
Parnas is it to me. I feel like he's the living embodiment of the AP Newswire. He just, but at least the AP Newswire credits people. They fucking say where it came from. He just repeats off the Newswire, breaking, breaking news, breaking. He doesn't give anybody credit. Where did that news come from? You just discovered that, and 20 minutes ago you
That's
just
what
discovered, and you
I
broke 4 cases today.
I think that's the intention. I really do. I think that,
Yeah.
the claim behind I'm an independent journalist and you're supporting independent journalism and then you don't cite your sources. Shane, look, like, I don't trust people. Why do I not trust people? Look at the government. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Shane? Well, he's doing the right thing. Sure. He is not lying to you. Okay? Unless you consider that omission is a lie. In which case, well, if you claim to be reporting the most important news, but you are omitting the most important news in favor of what CNN, MSNBC, and all of them are reporting, because we've already established that they're
Yeah.
fucking useless. But if you report it, it becomes independent journalism.
And
That
I
doesn't
really don't
make
like
sense
that
to me.
he's one of those with the constant, like, sometimes 2, 3 times a day, breaking news, breaking news. Like, can we not keep everybody in a constant state of panic and agitation? And then when the breaking news is not really breaking, I've heard it before, or it's something that's like not that urgent, that like everybody needs to chill with the breaking news, like unless you are breaking a story, truly breaking new information, don't do that shit. Don't do that shit all day every day.
I hate that
Like
term. I
it's
hate it.
exhausting.
I never say
Exhausting.
breaking news. Never, because it's not breaking. It's never, nothing is breaking anymore. And it does contribute to the burnout. That's why I keep
Right.
my show to 3 things. Because I don't need to bombard you. And the reality is that you can pretty much ignore 85% of what we get in the news cycle, because it doesn't matter, because
Yeah.
none of it gets dealt with unless you focus on the 15% that is relevant. And what I see is my observation. You can disagree with me. My observation is that what I see reported on by Midas Touch and Aaron Parnas, they touch about 5 to 7% of the important news. But then they fill the rest of that with 95 to 93% of the unimportant news, while omitting that 8 to 10%, which is actually very important, because they're only willing to touch the courts. They'll dance around ICE. They won't go too deep into ICE, but
Yeah.
they'll dance around ICE. They'll touch the Pentagon and they'll touch Congress. They don't touch the markets at all. They don't touch like corporate corruption really at all, which is probably the single most important thing we need to be watching is
Yeah.
money, right? And that's really the thing is I don't it's that. And it's also, we can't look at just domestic politics, because what they're running is a global domination scheme. And like, there's more to it, which is that's where I think that I think if if they pivoted tomorrow and they started reporting on the things that I look for every day. And I'm not lauding myself like I know more than everybody else. What I can tell you is that for months, I've been doing this since late February, okay? What I look at every day, not only the things that I wrote about 7 months ago, not only have they come to pass in awful, horrible ways, okay? Not only have they transpired, but not once did these people report on them as they developed through multiple stages. Not once. And I used to message these people and beg them when I only had 400 or 500 people following me on Substack and
Yeah.
implore them, please, for the love of God, like, don't let Peter Thiel get away with this. Don't let Trump get away with this. All you have to do is put this on blast in front of 100 million people, and it doesn't work. But
Yeah.
no. So forgive me if I am sitting here looking at their WLFI grift completely pulled off, and they've just acquired the stable coin they need to undermine the global transaction market. Forgive me if I am displeased with them because they successfully vertically integrated only Peter Thiel's companies into the Pentagon and have put all of these people in this. Forgive me if I am disappointed, not only disillusioned, but have lost faith in the fact that these people are fucking rich because people who don't know what to do throw money at them, because that's the only thing Americans know how to do, is throw money at things. And this person is saying, I'm going to save you.
Somebody asked, what do you think of Ground News? Have you checked out Ground News?
Ground News is a resource. What I like about Ground News is that it shows basically a bias filter.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, just go to a wire network. Just bypass the need to even filter.
The thing I like about Ground News is the blind spot. That's basically what I go check out every day. Because that'll show like what news
like
our left is not reporting on.
Yeah. I think it's a good propaganda tracker. Like if you want to see what they're not reporting on versus what basically what the right is reporting on a lot, and the wire networks and the Democrats aren't, and the liberal outlets aren't reporting on at all. That's your tracker for but it serves a purpose for sure. But
I use it as a resource, but it's not like I go there for all my news.
Like if you want to be really dialed in, Reuters or AP. I love Reuters because Reuters always tells you exactly where their news is coming from. Always. And it lacks bias. It really does. They're very good at it. And they've been doing it a long time. And you know what? They have these investigations. They do investigations all the time. And they put in the work, and they'll tell you, according to 5 sources inside of the White House who know about the matter, this is what was said. Okay, that's very helpful. I don't, you know what, like, why do, if I'm supposed to take your word for it, weren't we supposed to take their word for it? And this happened. And now, Ben, Aaron, I'm supposed to take your word for it, especially when I've seen you be wrong.
Yeah.
You know what? Substackers can't eat, yo. And they're still here trying to tell the truth because we see that, like, maybe one day, but all Aaron would have to do is restack my Kushner file. I would have 10,000 subscribers tomorrow.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. All Ben Mycelis would have to do is restack your last post, and you would be breaking 25K tomorrow, because it's a cult of personality. Understand, Midas is a cult. Why? What are you, the Midas Mighty? What is that? It's an identity. Okay? What is a MAGA? What is the Midas Mighty? What is a firebrand? Okay? Like, we all want to have an identity. Okay? And I'm not saying that having an identity is wrong. In fact, I love that, and I call you guys firebrands proudly, but I also encourage you always to go and find your own truth and to have a conversation. And I always ask you to go and read the articles yourselves, because maybe you'll see something that I do not. They don't do that.
And I look for like, so in my live yesterday, there was somebody named Chris. I can't think of his last name off the top of my head. But he was dropping a lot in the chat, and it was clear he knew what he was talking about, you know. So I made a note about it and then went over today and read one of his pieces, and he does know what he's talking about, and he's telling the truth. So hell yeah, I subscribed, I shared his shit. Like, how hard is that to do?
We all
How
restack
hard
each
would
other's
that
stuff.
be? How hard would that be for these big, you know, these big creators or I don't know if I should haters or repeaters, but how hard would it be for them to do the same thing? Like one every day. Find a smaller substacker every day that's telling the truth and elevate them. How hard is that?
Like, I won't, you know, you're like, I won't let Trump normalize this. But you're reporting on the things that are easily normalized. You know, what's not, you know, like the thing is, if you really want to stop this, pointing out that Trump is, you know, racist, or that this happened, but it's already happened before 40 times. Like, you know, turning
Breaking news.
your
The
entire,
sky is blue.
yeah.
Breaking.
You know, oh, what he's doing is wrong. No shit. Okay.
No shit.
Yes, we get it. Okay. But flock cameras, Midas, have you reported on flock once? Fuck no. Not once. Not once has Aaron Parnas or Midas, maybe Aaron Parnas, maybe, but certainly not Midas. They don't touch any of that tech shit with the 10-foot pole. If you're getting all of your news exclusively through Midas, you are wildly ignorant to 50-60% of what's going on. And I'm not trying to insult you. I'm not trying, you know, if you just stumbled over here and you primarily get your stuff through Midas Touch doesn't lie to you, okay? They're not lying to you. What they are doing is they are not telling you the whole story.
Yeah.
And that is just as damaging as lying to you in a time like this. Because
you're uninformed. I said the biggest issue with these flock cameras in Norfolk is that the citizens are not informed of what these cameras do. When I talk to people about it, most people I talk to think they're just another traffic cam. Like, they don't understand what they are, what the company is. So Flock tried to join. First, they said they were just a vendor. We just sold the cameras to the city. Then they tried to join the lawsuit as a defendant. And the judge was like, what do you mean you want to join? What kind of company voluntarily inserts themselves in a lawsuit as a defendant? And you're trying to tell me you're just a vendor?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? No, nobody would touch that with a 10-foot pole if you didn't have something else at stake here. And there are other cities where they have successfully terminated their contracts with Flock, and then Flock was caught leasing private property around town so they could still have a camera present. You're not just a vendor, bro. You're not just a vendor. Something creepy's going on there. Why are you so insistent? One city in Illinois, the city found out about these cameras, and they said, we want them gone. They went to the city. The city took a vote. They voted them out. We want them gone. So the city calls Flock and was like, hey, we're done. We're terminating our contract. Come get your equipment. They didn't come. So they keep hassling them. And meanwhile, the city employees went out and put bags over the cameras because the people voted on it, you know? Flock is still Flock. They caught Flock employees taking the bags off. Like, hello, this is not normal behavior from a vendor, somebody who just sells cameras. That's not fucking normal behavior.
Yep.
So when I talk to people in Norfolk and I tell them what the cameras do, what they're capable of doing, and that's not, oh, we would need new equipment. What this equipment is capable of doing, then all of a sudden these people are like, oh, I didn't know all that. I'm not really down with that, you know? And I'm like, exactly. So the fact is, the city did not inform. So I feel like it's the same thing with Midas. If you don't inform people of what's happening, how do they know to be concerned enough to call their congressman, to go to their city council meeting, to actually take movement and action if they don't know how bad it is? So I'm
And
that crazy person at the fucking city council meeting that's reading off everything that Flock does just so people hear it. So
right. And you know
that's
what?
it.
We wouldn't have to scream if they did it. That's why we get
Right.
so damn angry, people. It's not because we want to hate them. It's not because I even hate them. Okay? Like, maybe at some point, believe it or not, I loved Ben Meiselas. I could not get through the day without listening to Ben so I could feel like there was a sane person reporting the news. And then one day I was watching a video and I'm like, I feel like I heard this yesterday. I feel like I'm not getting anything out of this. And
Yeah.
I'm looking other places and you're telling me he's crazy and delusional and failing, but he's not. So, what's the catch? Like, and so then I started doing my own work.
Yes.
And on my work, time and time again, would blatantly contradict the narrative that I was being fed there, which is it's okay to be complacent. He is not doing well. He's sick. He's losing in the courts all the time. Like you're eventually he's going to fail.
Yeah. I don't want
Um,
to be placated. No
I,
fucking way.
look, like you say he gets defeated in the courts every time. Well, guess what? If that meant anything, Michael Popak, um, maybe I don't know, he'd be in jail.
Yeah.
Maybe the court that delivered him that crushing defeat in the tariffs, maybe the tariffs, I don't know, would be gone, but they're not. But they're
Yeah.
not, and it's that's where I say I guess I get loud and angry, and people don't like that. They're like, you're attacking them. You know what? They need to be attacked because if you ask them nicely or beg them, they don't care. The only time I've gotten a response from Midas Touch was when I freaking went ballistic for like
Yeah.
a week.
That's what you have to do. And then you get labeled as this crazy person. And it's like, oh, okay, but maybe we're all going a little bit bonkers right now because we see what's happening. We see the fucking picture and then we get fed this narrative and it's like, "Oh, he's so sick. He's going to die before the term." Like,
He's still
I don't
alive.
care about all that. Let's talk about what he's actually fucking doing
Also,
right
JD Vance is
now.
worse. I don't want him to die. I want him to be
Yes.
uncontrollable and unpredictable and make them have a harder time do whatever they're doing because when JD Vance comes in, it's a well-oiled machine and we're
Yes.
really fucked because
Yes. Right.
then they're like streamlined. They don't have to worry about crazy man. Again, there is a point where I have to wonder, is this a move to placate people? Is this a move to make people stop enough, give them enough, but not fight on the fronts that matter?
Right.
Is this a strategy? Is this the center? I saw someone set the Fox center left. Like,
Yeah.
what is this? Because
Make everybody feel like, oh, the courts have it under control, guys. Just wait it out. Everybody
Mhm.
just settle down and wait it out. And
and
all of
all,
the processes will work. Like,
I'm sorry, if that was
I
going to
just
happen,
roaming my fucking town now. Shit ain't working. It's not
no,
working. It's not
no.
working.
So
Uh-uh.
and I'm sitting here and you and me and all these other people, we're up to our freaking nose in this stink,
Yeah.
okay? And we know what this shit looks like and we know what they've done to us. And I am now well tuned to this kind of behavior. And while I cannot confirm to you beyond any suspicion that that kind of behavior is part of some greater operation. Okay. I can tell you that it certainly is not helping, and that it could very well be a very useful thing to someone who is trying to do some sort of coup, because you need a mediating force to placate enough people so that
Yep.
they do not act. And then you collect them all under a banner. Do you remember when they said they were going to do an international news thing where they were going to be all over the world and report on global events? Because I was super excited about it. What happened to that? What happened to that? Like, what's up? You got a lot of money for it. You don't tell me anything about foreign countries. In fact,
Yeah.
I only get the same thing from you every day. You know what you do really well? You post the exact same headline for every video, which reaffirms this idea that Trump is sick and weak and can't do anything right.
Yeah.
You know what that does? You know what that is? It's a psyop, yo. It's
Yeah,
a
it
fucking
is.
psyop. Yeah, Shane, you're crazy. Dude, I'm up to my fucking ears in crazy all day long. Yeah, I'm crazy because it is all
Yeah,
crazy.
it
It's
is
all
all
crazy.
crazy.
Okay, so you know what? You don't get to
The
have
idea
normal.
that the idea that a nation the size of the US is about to invade Venezuela because of the word of two fucking men is crazy. So
Right.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, yeah, I'm crazy. That's crazy. The fact that we're all just troping along behind two conspiracy theorists is crazy, man. It is fucking crazy. How does anybody think that's not crazy? Like, these are the same two people that swore up and down the election was stolen because of the Smartmatic machines, when the only place the Smartmatic machines were during that election was Los Angeles County.
Yep.
In the whole country, that's the only place those machines were, but that stole the election. Like, come on, man. Like, common sense. Just some fucking common sense. Anybody, like,
Yeah.
it'd be great. Anybody, common
Yeah.
sense.
The night of the election, I looked to my fiance. I said, they fucking stole it. I've been watching the polls nonstop. I felt good. I felt safe. I said, there's no fucking way we're going to go
Yeah.
for this
Yeah.
crazy guy. Women showed up because
But that's the
credit to
thing, is
women.
that they said the last election was stolen and everybody believed them. And
Yeah.
then we have this election and they really fucking rigged it. And because of all this like narrative that if you deny the election, you're crazy, whatever, you're on board with these people, they like set the path
Yeah.
to demanding a recount, looking crazy, making you look crazy if you
Yeah.
demand a recount.
Well, yeah,
Like,
you had people saying, we're not them. We're not them. We're
right.
not them. You know what? And I said, yeah, we're not. And they would steal an election because they took a legitimate election, and they wanted to steal it. And you know, at that point, you know, that's I guess where I think I have to sit here and say, that's what I said to someone. Someone's like, I trust Midas. I'm a happy Midas viewer. I said, I'm waiting for them to report on what happened in Tennessee. You know how many times I've seen people tag at Midas Touch and this will hold? So many times. Aaron Parnas in that this will hold. So many times. Guys, how many times do you need to tag these people and them not report on it for you to read? Because they do see it. Because I can tell you they see it because I insulted them for 2 days straight. And one post got 70 something restacks. And they're like, oh shit, we better punch down on this guy. We better deal with him. But they see it. Okay. They see it. They know it because you can't get, it has to be. So either explain to me why you're not right. Like
Yeah, this
explain
is
to
this is
me.
what everybody's saying. They rig elections for a long time and accuse the other side. They project constantly. This is such a good fucking strategy and it drives me bonkers. And that's what I'm trying to do with some work I'm doing now is to get out ahead of a fucking narrative for once. Somebody on the left has to get out ahead of a narrative because they spin a fake narrative, blast that out. They blast it and blanket everything with this fake narrative. So now people on the left, writers, journalists, whoever, have to do two things. We have to debunk their bullshit, and then we have to push the correct narrative. So we're already behind the game. Like every fucking time. It drives me up the wall. They come out with their spin, and then we have to say, that spin is crazy. And here's the truth. But we're already on defense. We have to go on offense and start setting the narrative loudly, blanket, like everybody has to be on the same page. But I feel like part of the issue with the left is that nobody wants to be seen as too extreme. Nobody wants to be seen as a conspiracy theorist. Nobody wants to be seen like that. So they are always so timid, and the right ain't never timid. They'll come out and say the most bonkers shit with their whole fucking chest, and then 50 other of them will repeat it, blast it out, share it. We have to get that energy, man. We have to step into confidence and confidently say the truth. And if it sounds crazy, that is because the truth is crazy in this moment. Like, so we have to say it.
I'm going to do a crazy thing. I'm going to ask you, this is my ask as an act. Okay. You can put this on me because I don't want to put this on Banner and Backbone. Put this on me. If you want your act for the day, go tag at Ben Meiselas and say, hey, Ben, you're worth $10 million. Why do you need to charge $10 for a Midas Plus subscription? Go tag him. They only listen when you actually say their name. They get uncomfortable. Okay? So you want, and don't put this on Banner and Backbone. Put this on me because I don't want, Nick approves it. Okay. You know what? Put it on all of us, me and Nick. And Melissa, if you endorse this behavior, we'll endorse it on the show here. For your action, tag at two things. You can tag at Ben Meiselas and ask him why, if he's worth $10 million, why is there paywalls on Midas Plus? You should ask him that question. The second thing you should do is you should tag at Midas Touch and ask them to report on the Tennessee election. Do those two things. Those are your two actions today. Because we need accountability. Because somebody
I'm gonna give another action too.
Do it.
Because I want every one of you to find a smaller Substacker that you have noticed telling the fucking truth, that you start checking for their content, and they have like 200 subscribers or less. The guy I plugged today is fucking smart. He's saying the truth. He's a veteran. He's a double Army and Navy veteran. He had 6 subscribers. That's fucking bonkers. He should have way more. Hold on. I got to find his name so I can send all of you to this dude, because that's the type of people. So that's my act for everybody is to go find somebody that's telling the truth and not getting the traction that they should be getting and the attention they should be getting.
Lift up a truther
Northern.
And call out a emitter. Okay?
I'm going to drop a link.
Call out an emitter. And I'm sorry, if I had $10 million, I would have freaking 10 researchers on my team.
Yep.
There would be an army there would be desks in this room. Okay? There would be desks in this room. You would see, it would be like one of those little video, like of the inside of someone's brain with people running around and papers everywhere.
Yes.
That's what it would look like. And so what's
like the stock market used to look.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get some accountability. And if they don't, and other people see that, maybe they'll look at your other retweet or your other restack and say, look at this guy who's telling the truth when they're not. So that's what I think. I think is, say what you will about, my take. Okay. And my position on this, and whether or not, there's something they could do differently. Okay. So say what you will, but if you're here at the Rant Act, it means you're not just here to listen to us rant. It means you're also here to act. And what I'm telling you And what I can promise you is that if Midas Touch reports on the fact that they manipulated a special election in Tennessee, you better believe some change will happen. And this will hold, which is crazy suppressed. They do amazing work, but it's the people with the, I don't know, most listened to podcast in the United States that are going to be able to reach the most people. So
Yeah.
if they start doing that, I will sing their praises. I will flip like a pancake. I will show you my brown side, and you will hear only good things out of me. Okay? Because I don't care how much money they make if they're doing the right thing. Because eventually if they do the right thing, we get the government back, we'll take their money anyway, because that's going to happen too. So they can hoard all they want. You can be a dragon, but we're coming for the dragons after we get rid of the dictators. So, but that's part of it. There's 140 of you here. We are telling you that if you're here, you're part of the Rant Act. This is not just a passive show. You don't just watch the Rant Act, you act. So we're asking you to live what we're doing here. And, Melissa, she's telling you, go and restack someone who deserves it, who is telling the truth.
Yes.
I'm telling you, for your action from me, go and tag at Midas Touch, at Aaron Parnas. Please, guys, report on this really important thing that has massive stakes for our democracy. Report on this. Ask at Ben Mycelis. Ben, if you're worth $10 million, why do you paywall your content? Those are the things that are going to make a difference. I promise you. So when you do, tag us. We'll restack it.
Yep.
I want to see it, because I will always restack something that I think is worth sharing. So I will place my cards on the table and fold for today.
Yes.
But
this has been a good one.
This has been good. We were having so much fun. We went almost 2 hours. I feel a lot better.
Man.
I feel a lot better.
I do feel better. I was storing up some of this.
I know. I got more relaxed as the show went on. In the beginning, I was like a freight train, just all the smoke. But yeah,
to let it off. This is our weekly therapy session.
That's exactly right. And I hope you guys feel a little bit more relaxed too, because we'll scream for you. That's what we're here to do on Banner and Backbone, at Counterstory Media, at the Firebrand Project. If you want to support us, please go and subscribe to Melissa at Counterstory Media, to myself at the Firebrand Project, to Banner and Backbone. We are all part of the movement that we want to see, because we all work together. We all work with each other. We talk to each other. We lift each other up. And that's what independent media is. It is not what some people want to tell you. Independent media is a community. It is not an independent person. You don't get to claim independent media as an identity. It is a community. So
Yep.
In that case, please, all of us, we're doing the best we can, but your paid subscription really helps. It really matters. So cancel your Netflix. Watch the Rant Act instead, because for the cost of your Netflix,
fun. It's interactive.
Yeah, it's interactive. And for the cost of your Netflix subscription, you can subscribe to Banner and Backbone, the Firebrand Project, Counterstory Media, and Ellie Leonard, and, Walter Ryan, and probably all of us.
Yes.
Right? So, and we're way more entertaining. We are.
Dang. We're a hell of a lot more entertaining. And we're like real.
Exactly. Real. We're not AI. I promise you. No deep fakes here. So I'm done. I love talking to you, Melissa. Guys, thank you for joining us today. And we'll see you next week for the Rant Act.
Yep. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Shane.
Thank you. Bye-bye, all.